Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something I've been wanting to do for quite a while. I've been wanting to create this video for quite a while. When you kind of first start out BookTube, there's one popular video and I did film that myself as well. I filmed it on February 5th, 2023. I did go back and look just to double check, and it's about to hit a 2-year mark. But there is a tag called the BookTube Newbie tag, and a lot of like new booktubers create this tag, and it's just like a nice way to it's like a nice icebreaker and to have you introduce yourself to your channel, like your viewers, and kind of just do like a mini rundown of like what your channel is going to be like, the type of books you like, and what got you into BookTube. I personally love watching BookTube Newbie tags, and I love watching another tag called a not a BookTube Newbie, and I believe the original creator, her name is Shelby Masako. I hope I didn't say her name wrong, but I'll put her name in the link. She created this tag for anybody who obviously wants to do it, but she created this tag for anybody who has been around and been on BookTube for just a minute, and they wanted to do like a reintroduction of pretty much their journey so far. And I personally am super nosy, and I love hearing people's YouTube journeys and hearing their BookTube journeys, and just how the community kind of came about for them, and what it's doing for them as a creator. Because before I started my channel, I would watch so many videos of people trying to convince you as to why you should just start your channel, and I'm probably going to be another person just saying just start it, because it's one of my most favorite things. And it took me a long time before I finally decided to jump in and actually create my channel and do book videos. So because it's kind of scary, it's a little intimidating, and there's so much you don't know about and so much you're afraid of, but it's really fun. I honestly love it so much, and I love the BookTube community. Anyways, I'm not gonna make this intro super long. I wanted to pretty much just do the not a BookTube Newbie tag, because I'm going to be here for almost 2 years. I have been here for almost 2 years. Hitting February 2025 will be my 2-year mark, and I feel like there's just some things I want to share, and if anybody's interested, they could watch this video and maybe find some relatability to it, or just anybody who's absolutely interested, because like I said, I'm really nosy about these type of videos and I love hearing people's journeys. So yeah. Okay, sorry, that was bothering me. But yeah, I wanted to just jump into the video, and if I'm looking down, it's because I have the questions right here. So yeah, if I'm looking down, it's because I have the questions attached to my phone, which is also attached to my mic. So I hope you guys don't mind, and let's just jump right into it. Let me start off by introducing myself if you don't know who I am. My name is Sunny, and my channel name is Cheeky Chapters. I actually got it from a meme, because there was we were watching America's Funniest Videos. Me and my boyfriend were watching replays of that one year, and there was a little meme where he's just look at this little cheeky moon, look at that little cheeky moon, and he's go away cheeky. And ever since then, I always thought that was so funny, and so I decided to name my channel Cheeky Chapters, something that kind of correlates it with a C. So if you're wondering what my channel name had to do with, it's because of that meme. And then also it has nothing to do with butts. Every time I kind of look at my channel, I'm I hope people don't think I'm talking about cheeksters, like cheeky underwear. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm literally referencing the meme. Okay, so let's start with the first question, was actually something I've kind of already answered, but it says, how old is your channel? My channel is going to hit 2 years in February 5th, 2025. So I started this channel in 2023. So I'm just a couple months off of my 2-year mark, which is kind of crazy to me, because when I look at my very first video, I feel it just seems ages ago, but also not that long ago at the same time. So it's kind of crazy to look back on and just realize how different my mindset was when starting my channel, and how much I would premeditate everything when it came to filming and what I want to do. So it's kind of crazy to look back on that journey and just realize how much has changed so far, in terms of my comfortability, I guess how comfortable I am talking to the camera and talking to like my viewers and everything, and then also like the motives I have when it comes to my channel. It's just a lot more laid back now compared to when I first started. I like had a structure and I pre-filmed batch videos. I do try to pre-film some videos just because it is easier on my schedule, but I think it's just crazier looking like how like cookie cutter things were before when I first started compared to now, which is like sometimes I'll just whip out the camera and start filming, and I love it. I love it so much. Question number 2 is, what is your favorite videos to make? My favorite videos are reading vlogs. I love reading vlogs so much. I feel like you get to really see more of like my personality and like my reactions towards the books. I also feel like they're so much more fun to edit because like you can do like cool transitions, you can do like cute music, which is the music part of editing is like one of my favorite parts. I feel like it really creates a different type of ambiance when it comes to filming. So I really love doing reading vlogs. I just feel like they fit more of like the type of content I want to put out and the type of videos I want to curate. So reading vlogs are like one of my favorites. I don't always film these because they like kind of take a lot of like thinking to do, but I feel like I liked filming like my favorite videos, like favorite books or anything involving like a wrap up, but talking specifically about my favorite books because I can just express like the gushiness of my emotions of the book. And it reminds me of like when I first started reading again. And so like when I first started reading, this before I had my channel, I had so much emotion and so much thoughts and things I wanted to talk about after finishing a book or like while reading a book, but obviously I didn't have my channel to like express those feelings towards. So it's like having that like built up energy and you're like, I need to talk about this, like I need to tell someone about this, and like you're like, I can't believe this happened, this is why I have trust issues, things like that. Like I love talking about like my favorite types of books. So I guess you can kind of say like reviews, but like specifically about my favorite books. That's the type, like more like 5-star reviews. Those are another type of videos I like to make. But overall, in terms of like a specific content, definitely reading vlogs. I feel like reading vlogs are just so much fun. I feel like I'm talking to a friend. Every time I pick up the camera, it's like I'm listening FaceTiming you guys. And yeah, I really enjoy it. I love reading vlogs. Question number 3 is, what advice would you want to give to someone who is wanting to join BookTube? You're probably gonna hear this all the time and you probably heard it a million times, but I would definitely say just do it, because I wish I started this channel 10 years ago. I wish I actually dedicated a lot more time when I had a lot more time on my hands, because you don't think you have time, but then things just pop up even further as you get older. And I'm acting like I'm like a lot older. Am I 30? I think I'm 30. Yeah, I think I turned 30 this year on September 30th, but I just feel like you should definitely start it, because that was one thing I was regretted, is like wishing I just kept my channel for a long time, because you would be a lot more further than you were like if you started way later. And then also, if you're contemplating the whole time and you're going to do it anyways, you might as well just do it now, because eventually if you're like constantly thinking about this and you're constantly thinking about it even years like later on, or like months later on, eventually you're gonna probably most likely start, but you probably would have wished you started before anyways. So it's like, if you're gonna do it anyways, just do it now rather than waiting. Another piece of advice I would say is just literally, when you talk to the camera, I get it, it's like kind of nerve-wracking and it's a little hard to get used to. Sometimes I still get like a little bit nervous. Actually, no, I don't know, I feel like I'm pretty comfortable, but there's moments, like you just random moments where you feel a little nervous or you don't know what to talk about. But I would say just like literally express your personality as much as you can. Obviously don't like push it, like don't do too much. But I think one thing I really love is like when I watch booktubers or other bookish channels, I love when I can actually like having someone review a book that's like straightforward and that's more of like a critiquing level, so the viewer only gets to see like a critiquer, but to show them that your personality and like who you are and like the things you like and how you are as a person, it really helps the viewer kind of understand their mindset of as to why they're maybe reviewing the book or how they're reviewing it. And I think it's really cool to be able to like watch other booktubers and get to know who my booktuber is. And so I think expressing your personality and like who you are is just really nice, and it's really easy to kind of feel like, because you watch all these different videos, to maybe act like a certain way, especially like if some people are like super popular by the way they act and their channels are huge. But it's like, don't be like them just because they have a huge platform. Literally just express your personality of your own, because I've found really small channels that I adore the personalities, honestly, compared to like some big booktubers who have like so many people, but their personalities aren't like my type of personality that like aligns with me. And so I just think that sometimes it just makes it a lot more intimate and a lot more genuine, and sometimes it's easier for people to actually want to gravitate towards your channel when they can tell it's not so cookie cutter and you're an actual human being and you're just like them. I think one thing about YouTube is finding relatable people and people that you can talk to that on a more relatable sense. So I think having that to express yourself is really, really important, because I love like being able to like watch a YouTuber and I'm like, they say a certain joke and I'm like, wow, that's my type of humor. I love that. And so yeah, I mean, obviously don't do it, like I said, don't do it like over the top, don't push yourself too much. Like if you know you're a loud person, don't be like extra loud, but like I said, just be yourself. And just remember, like as you do this, it gets a lot more comfortable over time. So one thing I remember learning about, and it really helped, was just practice filming. Even if you don't post it, just practice filming every single day, and after a while you get really used to talking to the camera, talking about stuff like as if you're talking to a friend. And yeah, so that's like, those are my tips if you want to start the channel, because those things have really helped me along the way. And I've noticed those are things I look forward to in other channels, so I can see like if you were to do that, I would really gravitate towards your channel as well. So those are like really big things. Question number 4 says, since joining, have you come into any unforeseen circumstances or conflicts? I think challenges. Yes, a lot. So if I'm being completely transparent, sometimes it's really easy to look at the numbers and then feel like you're not like good enough. Like sometimes you'll like put a lot of effort into editing and a lot of effort into just like your content creation, and then you look at those views and you're like, wow, like nobody's really watching my videos. But one huge thing I have to remind myself, and I would probably just notice too, like I have to remember to not look at the numbers, because even one person commenting on my video that just leaves one nice comment, that makes me feel like, okay, this video is worth it. Even if it was one good viewer, like a viewer that literally wanted to watch my channel and like actually likes my channel, those are like the reason, those are people I literally do this for. Like I obviously also do it for myself, like such as like gushing over books and finding community, but I always have to remind myself too, it's like it is discouraging sometimes when you, like for example, like I have been trying to post consistently, but you know, you expect to see rapid growth because you do see it really is like hard to not compare yourself to other people on YouTube, because like you can see someone post one video and people I've started at the same time that started as me, they're already up there. And obviously there's so many different factors that take place, like such as like quality, the types of platform they have, like their activity level on like YouTube, or their consistency, or like how many, there's so many different factors that take place into it. The algorithm is one, you know, but it's really easy to compare yourself to other YouTubers and just like look at your channel and you're like, why is mine not growing, and why is mine only growing one person or one viewer? But I do have to remind myself that one person and one viewer or one comment is enough for me to want to continue wanting to do this. Like this is why I wanted this in the first place, even if it was for one viewer. I'm not saying I want like 1 million subscribers. I mean, on a financial level, that'd be amazing, because to be able to do this for my job, like a passion project for a job, that is like a dream. But that is something I'm not trying to put expectations on, because I genuinely wanted to make this channel because I wanted a community and people to talk to, and I wanted to be able to just like completely vent about my bookish thoughts and everything. So I think that's like one huge thing that really is like important to me. Looking at numbers can be pretty challenging. Another thing is that can be challenging is your like consistency and trying to curate like different things to film. There's also those you know, those like common videos you can film, like wrap-ups, reviews, reading vlogs. I think are really an easy option because you can do it anytime pretty much. But it is kind of hard sometimes when it comes to like finding time to like actually sit down and film and then edit that video, because like I do work full-time and I'm also a full-time mom. So, you know, like obviously I have my boyfriend here too, and he like obviously helps me, and then we have his mom living with us, so that helps tremendously. But you know, like it's not always easy to find a schedule and then also have like a balance. So one thing I need to remember this too, I need to kind of stick with it a little bit better, but I think this might be some advice as well. I guess this kind of like goes into the last question. Batch filming really helps, and reading vlogs, because reading vlogs you can kind of do like quick little snippets, even if it's like a 3-minute check-in, because I normally read like on my lunch break or before bed when everybody's already like pretty much wind down. And so being able to like film little random check-ins helps compile like content. And then also batch filming really helps because you have a video you can already edit, and once you start editing you kind of get the hang of it. I'm not saying I'm a pro, but like after a while it becomes a lot more easier. I hope you can't see my foot in the background. If you do, I am so sorry. I don't have any socks on. Anyways, that's irrelevant. But yeah, I do think that really helps me a lot, because that helps me kind of stay consistent and kind of stay motivated. It's almost like working out. Like once you start getting momentum, then it just keeps on like rolling. Obviously you're gonna fall off sometimes, but I do think consistency is one huge thing I have noticed, like trying to find the time to like edit and film, because I love editing and I love filming, but you know, you have those days where you just don't want to film, or you have those days you don't want to edit. But having a batch content has helped me out a lot. So I think those are my two like biggest challenges so far, is comparing, just like comparing yourself to other creators, and then also just having consistency, because it does take a minute to kind of navigate all that. So yeah, those are my two challenges. Question number 5 is, what is your favorite book or series that you've read since starting BookTube? Since starting BookTube, that's kind of hard because I have like so many different 5-star reads, but I think one that's like a common one that you kind of see a lot on BookTube that actually kind of persuaded me into wanting to read it was the Cruel Prince series, the Folk of the Air series, and Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I think those two trilogies are like really common popular books that you see on BookTube, and I do feel like those really persuaded me, like seeing all that like content everywhere persuaded me into wanting to pick up those books, and they ended up being like one of my most favorite books as well. So I think those are like the book series that kind of like pushed me into wanting to read this, because I just remember loving it so much, and those were like the books that kind of made me feel like, wow, I love reading. And obviously you see it everywhere on the internet. Those are common books you see because of like BookTube and BookTok, but I'm not on TikTok. But yeah, like BookTube has definitely pushed me into reading those and picking them up. So definitely those two are like my top 2. Question number 6 is a good question. So it says, overall, what is your favorite aspect about BookTube? So one of my favorite things about BookTube is the community. Like, it's really true when they say that the community is one of the nicest, kindest communities. I've had some really kind-hearted, super supportive and sweet comments, like wholesome comments, like where you can tell like some people are literally just, they genuinely are like just leaving a kind comment. I love the paragraph comments. Like, I love any comment. I love even like the silent viewers, but I also love like the ones that leave like one word or an emoji. But I just love those like really in-depth comments as well, like where it's just, you can tell they genuinely are just like letting you know that, you know, you're doing a good job, or like just a genuine sweet comment in regards to like a video, for example, like you talked about something and then they reference that. And lately I've been having some really kind comments, to the point that I'm kind of like squealing over them to my boyfriend, and I'm just telling him like how sweet they are. And I think being able to have that little community, it's like slowly starting, like where you feel like you have a community of like people who you can recognize their handle names, and you just love when they leave a comment, because you're like, oh, it's my normal viewer, or it's my normal, you know, like person who comes around my channel. And it's one of the best things, knowing that you have a community, even if it is a community of one, because being able to like talk about books and reference them. And when you, like, for example, like you have a book, for example, and you're talking about it in one of your videos, and then another person comments about something referencing that book, obviously not a spoiler, but they just like reference a funny part in that book, or reference a part that they like, and it's like an actual like pinpoint, like you could tell they genuinely watched your video, and they're like, oh my gosh. Like the other day I had a comment about Project Hail Mary about Rocky's character, and it made my day because I was like, that is a genius. Like, that comment was just, it made my day. Like, it was just so funny. And yeah, so I love that. Those are like the little things. I love how you can connect with people specifically about books. It's like having a hobby, or like, it is a hobby, but it's like having something that you guys can relate to and then like just talk about it. And I love that about BookTube. It's like one of my most favorite things. Okay, question number 7 is, want to spread the BookTube love? Yes, and it says to shout out a BookTube newbie. I'm not sure if she's a BookTube newbie, so let me just double check. But she is the one that left the comment on Project Hail Mary, and she, like, that was just so sweet. So let me see. Okay, so her, I don't want to say her name wrong, but she's just so sweet, and she leaves like such like kind comments, and her book reviews are like really good book reviews. Like, they're the type of book reviews I want to do, like where I was kind of talking about this in my last video, where they're like book reviews like where you actually break down everything in the story and you actually go in depth about the story, to where whoever's watching it or viewing it genuinely know if they want to pick it up or not. And that's the type of like book reviews I want to do. Like, that's my goal. And so I love how she talks about books, and I love like her book reviews in general. But her name is, I hope I'm not saying your name wrong, but I really love your channel. Her name is Xenia and the Books, and I really like her channel a lot. There's more subscribers for sure, but I love her channel. Like, they're just like really comforting. The way she talks about books is just top tier. And yeah, so I would definitely recommend her, and she's gonna be my BookTube shout out. Okay, and then the last one, it says, who do you tag? So I actually am not going to tag like anything specifically. So anybody who's watching this video and who has been doing the BookTube, or if you want to just do this in general, I would just say you can do this. I'm tagging everybody. So there you go, that's my tag. But again, I want to thank the original creator of this tag, and thank you so much for creating this tag for us booktubers to kind of just have something to go off of. And it was really fun. I really love answering questions like these. I think they're really fun actually, because I think they give you like little prompts, and it's almost like a Q&A. So I genuinely love these type of videos. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I like doing these like little sit down videos, and I hope that some of this stuff kind of holds some value to you guys. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun.